Now you're ready for your mixing chamber. Once again, before you put any mixing chamber on, always observe, make sure there's no scratches, make sure the sides are nice and shiny. If they're not, just grab your Scotch-Brite pad, polish it back up. It needs to be nice and shiny for you to get a proper seal. If you have a lot of, just say, dried ISO, any cured bed liner that's in there, you're not going to get a good seal. This has to be nice and smooth, as well as these side seals. Once again, this sits here, and then as it engages and disengages, just basically that mixing chamber slides back and forth. And this is actually what holds back that pressure. So once again, make sure there's no scratches here and no scratches on your side seals. If there is, best thing to do is discard them and put a new set on. Because, well, like I said, the only thing you definitely do not want to have to do is you don't want to have any material blowing out during production, because all it takes is a little bit of raw material to get onto your substrate, and then you're going to get blistering. Okay? All right, grab your 13. Same thing. You want to make sure, don't get it tight, and you want to make sure the 01 is at 12 o'clock. But if you happen to go past it, do the full rotation again, and make sure that 01 is at 12 o'clock. Just like that. Okay? Now the reason why you want to have the 01 on top, this way this side is always the ISO and this side was always a poly. This way it stays the same, never changes. Okay? That's the best way to really keep this gun keeping the way it is. Alright, now that we have that, now we're ready for our front housing. Slide that on. But before you do that, once again, sorry, those O-rings, you want to make sure those O-rings are there. Okay? Now you're ready to slide that on. And it is a perfect fit. Slides right on. There you go. Just make sure you line up your ports. And you're at 5:30 seconds. Just slightly get them started. And they will cross thread easy. It is aluminum body, so you want to be patient. Alright, once you get it started, don't torque it down until you get the other one done. Alright, once you got it done, then you give it a good torque. Same thing with this, don't want to over torque it, that's why they give you a straight. Don't ever use a T handle or a right angle. Just give it a tight. Alright, now you're ready for your spray tip. Now this one here just slides right in, doesn't have to be in any position. Okay, then your spray cap. Same thing, you want to make sure that's greased up. You want to make sure everything around inside is actually clean. Okay. And sometimes, believe it or not, I had a guy, the first guy that ever done that cross thread at this mixing chamber. So it is possible. And in all my years of being in this industry, I've never seen that happen. But he's the first one that's done it, so that tells me it can happen. So you want to make sure. Okay, the same thing. As you're torquing this down here, this is the natural point of stopping. That's all you want to do. No more than that. And it's correct, you'll have that spray tip sticking out just a little bit right there. Okay, now before we assemble this, there's something that's really important in this gun. It's called tip adjustment. Okay, now what you want to do is go ahead and make sure your trigger is disengaged. There we go. You want to push it down. Okay. You can see here, when you actually turn the air on, pull the trigger, that's going to cock back just like that. This is the thickness that you're looking for. It's going to be the thickness of a dime. Okay, really important. If it's too far back, you're going to get more ISO than poly. If it's too far forward, you're going to get more poly than ISO. So you want to make sure that tip adjustment is properly. If you're not sure if you have it aligned properly, what you can do is, I don't have any grease here, but you can grab a little bit of grease. What you want to do is put it right in there, just like that. Grab your side seal, your side block, sorry, and you actually put it right on. And you can actually take a look at the orifice. See, you can see the hole of the orifice is right on that. That means your tip is adjusted properly. If you have to make any adjustments, right back here. It's a 9/16, I don't have one, and you have a hex nut. So just make your adjustments. Clockwise, it's going to push you forward. Counterclockwise, it's going to push you back. Okay? So that's really important that you pay attention to that tip adjustment. Okay? Once you have corrected, just push that, and it brings it back. Okay? Now you're ready to assemble your side block. Just put that on. 3/16. Same thing, just get it started. Once you got it, then torque them down tight. Don't get them crazy tight, because what ends up happening, it's the same thing as aluminum body. You'll actually start to smash this piece, okay? Normally, and it's I think it's 8 foot-pounds of torque. That's it. All right, now we're going to do assembly here. Now, first things first, you actually want to put your filter assembly on. Slide that on. You want to drop your spring in first, and then your check ball. Now your check ball, if you take a look in there, you want to make sure it's right on top of that spring. Okay, really important. If you don't have it on top, you actually put the filter. They say it self-adjusts and self-aligns, but that is not true. Okay, I took one off here the other day, and that check ball was literally smashed right into the spring. How it happened is beyond me. But same thing, you just want to make sure that it's all in that spring. Then you're ready, because it actually seats right there. The purpose of that check ball, so if you do have any side that does overpressure, it will not allow it to go up to the spray hose. Grab your 7/16. And the same thing, don't get it torqued. Just a natural point of stopping, that's all you need. Okay, now to reassemble this, is basically you're going to grab, you'll put some grease right in there, just a shot of grease, a little white lifting, and once again, side seal downward. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to push it in. And once again, this is basically as far as it protrudes. Now sometimes if you don't get it, if you push it in and it does not protrude, the area that you're going to have trouble is actually right in here. There's a lip right in there. So what you want to do is make sure to grab your pick set and clean that lip off real good, and as well as the lip on this side seal right here. This is where you have the most buildup of material. Okay, once again, you slide that in, push it down. This is the dowel ring seal. So flat side goes down first, your spring, and then your side seal housing. Now there is it when you're torquing this down, same thing, you want to get to the natural point of stopping. That's your natural point of stopping. Then a little less than 1/8 of a turn. And okay, once you confirm that, you want to squeeze this. It should squeeze. Okay, if it does not, what you want to do is loosen it back up and then bring it back, and then it should engage, because sometimes it does get jammed up. So once you confirm that it is squeezing, you're good to go. Then you're ready to reassemble it. Just get them started. If you have to move this to adjust it, go right ahead. Okay, now that we got it, get them tight. And now, once again, it doesn't have to be crazy tight. And there you go. Now, you want to pump this full of grease, but when you actually are assembling for production, the only time you want to pump it full of grease is when it actually goes into production. Then basically you do is you put your grease gun here, pump it full of white lifting grease, and once grease comes out of the front, you're good to go. And then once you're ready to actually, then you put it into production, turn your air on, and you want to trigger the gun several times to purge all the residual grease. The main thing of the grease is it's going to fill up the back portion of this portion here, and it's actually going to fill up the very bottom and top of the mixing chamber. This is going to prevent from any ISO crossing over and preventing the cross-contamination. Okay? And that's basically all your rebuild of the P2 gun.